Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. One of mine are all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and of course our official website, thestephennightshow.com. Rather watch us, go check us out on YouTube. We appreciate your comments and likes. All right, so a Florida teacher is under fire. And it was fired hours after he reportedly asked students to write their own obituaries. According to ABC News, the assignment was given ahead of an active shooter drill the same day. Now, according to the outlet, psychology teacher Jeffrey Keene, 63, was fired from Dr. Phillips High School in Orlando on Tuesday. However, Keene believes that he's done nothing wrong. He said, if you can't talk real to them, then what's happening in this environment? In my mind, we've done nothing wrong. So on Monday, Keene explained that he was informed about the upcoming active shooter drill on Tuesday. He felt the assigning students to write their own obituaries would allow them to reflect on their lives during the school shooter scenario. On Tuesday, during the first period, the teacher went on to assign the activity to a mix of 11th and 12th grade students. This isn't a way to upset you or anything like that. He reportedly told the class of 35 students. Additionally, he also explained his stance to reporters. It wasn't to scare them or make them feel like they were going to die, but just help them understand what's important in their lives, how they want to move forward with their lives, and how they want to pursue things in their journey. However, by the 7th period that same day, he was fired. Now, the Orange School District representative reportedly shared a statement regarding his termination. It says Dr. Phillips High School families were informed that a teacher gave an inappropriate assignment about school violence. Administration immediately investigated, and the probationary employee was terminated. He was reportedly hired in January and was not a member of the union, and he has no recourse to reverse the district's decision. He still stands with it. He says, I don't think I did anything incorrectly. I know hindsight is 2020, but I honestly didn't think a 16, 17, 18-year-old would be offended or upset by talking about something we're already talking about. So was he fired? Do you think, in your opinion, was he fired for having them write the obituaries or the timing of it during the active school shooter drill? What do you think this was all bad altogether, or do you just think it was the timing? I'll ask you, Lania.
I mean, the timing could have been, I don't know. Well, I'm trying to figure out. No, that was college. It wasn't high school. So in college, we had a professor who had us um, practice writing our own eulogy.
Mm.
And of course, nobody wants to think about their immortality. Um, I mean, you know what I mean. Nobody wants to think about that. I'm thinking about Mortal Kombat here. Nobody wants to think about that. Um, but with everything that's going on, I feel like it was in bad taste right now. And maybe it could have been presented differently because people are on edge, and this is something that is not something in the past. It's so current that you want teachers to have guns in the classroom for what? When you
Right.
can just put laws into place to protect people, but you don't want to do that. So I think it was just in poor taste, and he was on probation and he wasn't tenured, so he has no recourse, in regards to fighting this.
Right.
You on probation, bro. So maybe it should have been thought out a little better and presented differently, and maybe a conversation should have been had before then with administration to be like, well, being that all of these school shootings are going on, would it be conducive for me to, you know, present this type of assignment at this time? Maybe that could have been an option.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Chika, what are your thoughts on this?
So he wasn't a teacher of tenure because he would have to have shown his lesson plans, because real teachers have lesson plans and they have to turn them in and show what they're going to be working on. Smart. As someone who writes I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I think that it's a little cathartic, actually. And when you do a eulogy, oh no, it was an obituary. It
So he
wasn't a
wanted
eulogy,
them to
right? It
do
was an
an
obituary.
obituary. Mine was a eulogy.
Mm-hmm.
So an obituary, an obit in a newspaper is a special form of writing. It's not your average writing installment. There's things that are particular to an obituary, and there's specific writing lessons that go into writing an obituary. So I don't know. It's a lesson. He's teaching them something, and it's also thought provoking because you have to think about your own immortality. I don't personally. I don't see anything wrong with it. With the times that we're dealing,
Mm-hmm.
why not?
Mm-hmm.
Why not? You practice drills. Get on the floor. Hide your head. Get under the desk. You practice drills. Why not embrace everything that's of our reality right now? Because this is where we are. You can't continue to shield people and you want to hide things, you want to erase the past, you want to remove bad things. This is kind of sort of what's wrong with people now, because you want to tuck away some of the not so nice things and make it cushy and sweet and nice for everybody all the time. That's not real life. That's why most people need a pill right now.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you should
I
have
think
said,
they need
okay.
I think they need to embrace it. They should go through with the exercise and write their obituaries and maybe read them to all the parents at an assembly and let them know how they feel about the school shootings.
Because
Mm-hmm.
half your
Make it a
parents
thing.
voted for these people.
Yeah. I think maybe a letter should have went home to the parents ahead of time, just to give them the heads up this was the assignment. Just kind of because something like this, it could backfire you either way. So either you
Can I
get
just say something? I'm sorry. I have to push back a little bit. When I was in school and when they were doing sex education, that was a big thing. Nobody sent a letter home. They didn't know what they were talking to us about in school. No one sent any letters anywhere.
yeah.
Why?
But
Why?
schools are more sensitive now. People are more sensitive now. And
Well,
so
get real sensitive and protect the kids from school violence.
no, I agree. But it's either cover your bases or lose your job. And he's lost his job. So I think he should have probably gotten either the school buy-in or buy-in from the parents just for his own, because everyone is so fragile now.
Yeah, it's a pain, but I mean, what are
Yeah.
you going to do?
Right.
It is a pain, but unfortunately, it's like walking on eggshells.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you gotta try to move a certain way so you don't, I
Right.
don't know if you want to say offend or, and not that it should be that way because those who are putting their lives in danger are not asking us or sending home anything.
Very true.
We need more rebels.
Yeah. All right. Well, the Dalai Lama is under hot water online for what people are calling acts of pedophilia. On Monday, the spiritual leader, 87, apologized after a virtual video showed him kissing a minor boy, then suggesting that the child suck on his tongue. So, this is what he posted. A video clip has been circulating that shows a recent meeting when a young boy asked His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, if he could give him a hug. His Holiness wishes to apologize to the boy and his family as well as many friends across the world for the hurt of his words may have caused. In the last paragraph of the statement, His Holiness seemingly suggested the tongue-sucking comment was meant as a joke. His Holiness often teases people he meets in an innocent and playful way, even in public before cameras. He regrets the incident. However, there is no explanation on why the hug escalated into a kiss. Now, according to CNN, the incident with the minor child occurred in February at an event in India. M3M Group, an India real estate company, was hosting a philanthropic event. I get that word messed up. Event featuring the Lama. The video shows the boy approaching the spiritual leader, asking, "Can I hug you?" In response, Dalai Lama invited the boy on stage and pointed to his cheek. First here, the suggestion was for him to kiss him on the cheek. Then the child obliged. After the hug, the hug and kiss, the leader pointed to his lips and said, "Then I think finally here also." Before the child could react, Dalai Lama reportedly pulled the child's chin towards him, kissing the minor on the lips. The boy recoiled his head as laughter and claps filled the room. Moments later, the leader tried to pull the child's forehead onto his own, but the child appeared to pull away slightly before giving in. After a few moments, the boy stood apart again while the Lama stared at him. Then the 7-year-old motioned at his tongue and poked it out and said, "Suck on my tongue." The clip shows the unidentified child seemingly laughing, then leaning in before the clip cuts out. It's unclear if that ever happened. Now, the tweeted statement has received over 9.9 million views and over 10,000 comments. Reactions range from disgust to calls for Dalai Lama to step down as a spiritual leader, and very few justifications for his actions, including reference to the Tibetan culture. I saw Cardi B posted that we have to protect children and they're pedophiles all over. What do you think about this, Linnea? I mean, what do you think? What do you think? I mean, what he's saying is it was at a public event. I wasn't trying to do anything crazy. I was joking around. But other people are like, you're 87 years old kissing a little boy. What are your thoughts?
I am confused.
Right. I was too.
I saw a snapshot, and at first I thought it was like what do you call it? Photoshop, because I saw the tongue and I'm like, what's going on? Like, this is Photoshop. So but he really said that it was a joke. Did he really said that?
Yeah.
You know what? I defer to TK Evans at this particular moment.
I mean, the hug is one thing. Kiss on the cheek, kind of stretching it. Kiss on the lips, completely inappropriate. And then now you want him to suck on your tongue. Your thoughts?
Well, as you were reading it, I was visualizing it. I did see a snapshot of like a picture.
Yeah.
On his face, it's wrong. It looks wrong. It sounds wrong. It's wrong. I don't care how you dress it up or joke or whatever. It's wrong.
Yeah.
Optically wrong. Just wrong. So now what are they going to do? What are they going to do with him? He's the Dalai Lama. What are you going to do with him?
Right.
You can't shift him around to another church.
Don't you do it.
What? What? What did I say?
I knew it was coming.
You can't relocate him, you know. Find another, place for him to calm down and then start up again. You can't do that.
Because he can't even get canceled, can he? No. I mean, like,
do they? I mean, I don't know.
Like, does that even apply to him? Does cancel culture even
like
apply?
It's apparent these days when people wear robes, they can just do whatever they want to do. I mean, can I get a robe? Can I buy one from Amazon?
Yes.
It's like Magneto's helmet. It protects you. You can do whatever you want to do when you wear a robe.
The cloak of invisibility. Wait.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But it's totally wrong. Whatever he says is canceled. It's like there's no excuse for this. This is wrong behavior.
Yeah. Completely. All right, our last story. So
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Our last story. So a woman in Arizona, she's decided to quit her job after her boss demanded that she has to return in the office full-time basis. So apparently, she did an interview with the Business Insider, and she just goes by 53-year-old Felicia. And she worked as an administrator, and she was making over 6 figures salary. During COVID, obviously, they had to shut down the office because it wasn't safe, and they worked from home. Then they decided they would have them come back in a hybrid model where they come in 2 days a week and then work 3 days from home. And she did that. And then recently they told them they had to come back into the office full time. But she took issue with the announcement, saying that she was able to get more work done at home, and that she at home than she did in the office because of distractions and interruptions. So I was going home and working 4 hours because I couldn't get work done. And she told the publication. Felicia initially tried to get back into the swing of things by saying how she felt about the working out the office full time for a month, but she ended up quitting. She said, I know how to do my job. I don't need to be in the office to do work. I just knew I didn't want to go back to how it was before. So apparently Felicia wasn't the only one that took issue having returned to office on a full-time basis, claiming that other people at the company who decided to leave and find jobs because they prefer working from home, even if it was only a few days a week. Now, one of the advantages of working from home is the flexibility it provides. You can set your own schedule and work when it's convenient for you. This can be particularly helpful if you have other responsibilities, such as caring for children or elderly relatives. Additionally, working from home can save you time and money on commuting, and it can also reduce your stress levels. Another advantage of work from home is that you have more control over your work environment. You can set up your workspace in a way that is most comfortable for you. You can also control the temperature and lighting. This can help you be more productive and focused. And one of the biggest challenges is staying focused and productive. When you're working from home, it can be easy to get distracted by household chores or activities. Additionally, not having dedicated workspace can make it difficult to separate work from home life. Another challenge work from home is the lack of social interaction. When you're working from home, you don't have the same opportunities to interact with your colleagues and build relationships. This can lead to feelings of isolation and loneliness, which can negatively impact your mental health. So the article goes on to tell you some tips that if you do work from home, how to be productive. But I know personally someone who threatened to quit when some of their team threatened to quit when their company said they had to come back in the office. So then they changed it to just a few days a week they had to come in the office and not full time. But with the tech company took a major hit. They've laid off tens of thousands of people. And even though there are still jobs out there, it's not as flippant as it was during COVID. So do you think you'll start seeing companies become more and more, bringing people in the office? Because what happens when people work from home, they're not helping, like, especially like in a city like New York, those bodegas and those restaurants, and those took a big hit because people weren't coming in the office, going there for lunch and things like that. But do you think that the employees will come out on top of this, or do you think that companies will, as they start, ask people to come back in? Because I know plenty of companies that are starting to have people come back in. Chike.
So part of my thought on this is that there are going to be a lot of companies that start out with trying to work with people at home, but then they're going to really realize that they don't need those people. And when they start shutting down, those are the people that they're going to shut down first, those people that are home. So it's all well and sweet right now, but I advise you to get into the building and start doing more than your share, because it's going to get real crazy out here. I'm just saying.
Yeah, there was an expert that said that when you're not in the office, it's easier to let you go because you're not there.
Yep.
Alicia, Lanita, I would say Felicia. Lanita, what do you think about this?
I know that during COVID, I was the only one in the office because I can't work from home because of what I do.
Right.
And two people were let go during COVID. One person in particular had 15 years at this particular company. And the other one had, I guess, about maybe like 5 years in. And it wasn't even in person let you go, it was on the phone let you go. Depending on where you are in your life, right? Depends on, whether or not you want to stay in the 9 to 5 race, if that's something that you want to do. And if it's something that you want to do, because of where we are after COVID, you have some decisions to make. Like, TK knows for me, you know, my ultimate goal is to transition out of a 9 to 5.
Mhm.
Because I know that's not what God created me for. And I think depending on what you're dealing with within that job, for me personally, anxiety, stress, microaggressionism, um, no growth, no room for advancement. So it's a little bit different for me than it is for this woman, because based off of what I saw, she was making like 100K a year.
Mhm.
And I'm the lowest paid in my company. I have been, even though my work is worth more,
Yeah.
because when I'm not there, they suffer. So I think it all depends on the individual
Yeah.
and where they are in their life. And because of my job, I now hate the word team.
Mm.
When I see it in an email, it does something, it triggers me. Or
Mhm.
or if I hear it in a meeting, that word triggers the hell out of me.
Mhm.
Because it's not. We're not a team. This is all about you and having bodies in here to do the work for you so you can go be on a golf course.
Right.
Period.
Yeah.
So it's an individual case by case basis.
Yeah.
But I mean, do what you gotta do.
My thing is get a job first before you quit the one you got, Felicia. Hopefully she did that. Well, anyway, thank you so much for Hot Topics, Linnea, as always. Chike, I'll see your movie reviews, and we'll be right back after this.